The film I will introduce today is The Mother and the Whore. Directed by Jean Eustache, it was released in 1973 in France. At the time of its release, it received some negative criticism, but many critics now regard it as a groundbreaking masterpiece of French cinema. It was also enthusiastically received at the Cannes Film Festival. At first, I was astonished by the endless back-and-forth conversations. For about 40 minutes, I wondered why nothing was happening and why 2 or 3 characters kept exchanging lines endlessly. It was so painful that I felt like closing the Amazon Prime window and quitting. I even thought of going to the convenience store to buy some ice cream to relieve the stress. However, after enduring about 40 minutes of this tedious dialogue, I began to notice something. Perhaps this unbearably long and boring conversation was a deliberate method to make the audience feel the realism of everyday life. By forcing viewers to endure such monotonous dialogue, the director makes them feel as if they are watching hidden camera footage or a raw documentary. Then, when small events finally occur, they feel surprisingly powerful and shocking. Around 1 hour into the film, I realized I was becoming emotionally absorbed in the uneventful lives of the characters. As more time passed, my immersion deepened. Although the story still consisted only of ordinary uneventful conversation, I started to feel a sense of drive and tension, and I connected more deeply with the messy emotions of the characters. This effect reminded me of several other experiences. For example, sitting in a sauna until discomfort turns into a strange pleasure, or being swept into the mood of a long drinking party even without alcohol. It is also similar to a runner's high, where the brain releases chemicals that create a euphoric state, or listening to a monk's long chanting until it becomes strangely soothing. The endless dialogue eventually creates a hypnotic connection between viewer and character, pulling the audience into the same emotional state. Another comparison might be techno music by artists like Taku Ishino. Listening to repetitive beats for a long time can eventually become trance-like and pleasurable. While watching, I also remembered the work of Mamoru Oshii. His films sometimes shift from dialogue into a character's long monologue shot with a fisheye lens. That technique creates an eerie and fantastical atmosphere that draws viewers in and turns them into devoted fans. Watching The Mother and the Whore gave me some insight into why that style is so powerful. The structure of The Mother and the Whore can be summarized in several points. 1. The long mundane opening conversations feel like documentary footage and give later small events a surprising impact. 2. Even the boring exchanges are woven with subtle realism, heightening authenticity. 3.